What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is Soup. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Kvoth. The map is Frozen Waste. This is a exhibition show match of sorts for Overhaul patch. This is the patch. This is what it's all this is what everyone's talking about. This is what all the cool kids are playing. Overhaul patch is the patch, and the name of the game is a complete change of the way we envision Age of Mythology, just to inject a little bit of fun. And we're just checking it out today, seeing how these guys react to all of the changes and what they want to go for, what sort of builds they want to do, what sort of strategies, what sort of differences in games we see. We are getting a very, very good look here today, though, at the new Oranos. And one thing you're going to notice already is that Kvoth, in the center of his food here, he has already got himself 3 citizens out, almost 4 citizens. He's got 4 citizens out now, which is a significant amount faster than on 5.0, as the walrus in the center of the map has been converted, will be getting sent back. The citizen going to be moving forward here, eating up these walrus, sending Soup back home. This is something that's very, very standard and a very, very good way to counter the early game priest conversion shenanigans. But Soup, utilizing vision early, did get off 1 walrus conversion, did steal that one away from Kvoth, as Kvoth is now going to happily enjoy those. Moving forward, he does get the mana up, the citizens coming out. You can see he's at 15 to 15 population as that citizen comes through, so perfect where that's concerned. If we take a look over at the set player here for Soup, you will see his monument coming down. You will see he's getting his houses down, and he's finishing up with these caribou over here. Moving forward, the big difference with Set in the early game is that your temple costs 150 gold. So you do have to kind of play into that to some degree to get a good classical age. 150 gold is 50 gold more than normal. So putting a handful more villagers on gold, or putting the villagers onto gold much earlier, is going to be somewhat necessary to ensure you can get that one out, even though the rate has been increased to some degree. As Soup, now coming over onto this position, going to start converting his own walrus that are here, though it is possible for Kvoth to yet again send his villagers over here and start shooting these walrus down if he so chooses. But Kvoth at this point is probably more concerned with advancing to the next stage. Needs just a little bit more on the gold here. As he gets that citizen out, the temple will be able to come down. He might need 2 villagers on this temple to get it up in time. It's a little bit late, and he doesn't quite decide to go for that. That temple might not get up in time, and Kvoth might be going for a slightly later advance time rather than going for a clean 4:30-ish or 4:29, I believe it is. Is that quite right? 4:28. He's going to have to get 1 more citizen up. So not the worst thing in the world, advancing just that little bit later. The citizen take, instead of taking 35 seconds, they take around 20, I can't remember the exact amount, 20, I want to say 24 seconds, something like that. So it's not that big of a delay here. In fact, it's still pre 5-minute advance time, so not bad at all. As we do see the citizen coming over here and does decide to start shooting that one down. Will he get that before it gets converted or not? Answer is he does kill one off, as a mana is going to be coming down. The villagers of Kvoth going to be moving over onto this position as Soup now going up through Tar. Little bit late on that one. I wouldn't be surprised to see Soup do some sort of shifting sands shenanigans onto this position, but the mana is here. The oracles are in. One thing that I don't recommend on this patch is to utilize Valor on your oracles. I think it's a really, really bad way to go about utilizing Valor, because Valor is super, super strong here for the Atlanteans. And can get yourself Valid Terma, which is super powerful, Valid Oracles, which is super powerful. And as we hit the second age, we can start talking about what the relics look like. There's boots that kick everything. This relic is absolutely huge. It doesn't have any changes in the overall patch, plus 10% bonus speed there for the heroes. And we also have over here the Tusk of the Iron Boar, which is just a boost to your chariot and cavalry hit points, which is obviously very, very good as well. As the obelisk comes up, Soup unlocks the ability to attack with his priest here, as the citizen on this position are going to start getting harassed. What's happening in the main base here is we do see one counter barracks, one military barracks coming down there for Kvoth. Kvoth here not quite ready for all too much, as Soup going up with his armory at this point. He's going for a fast strike. Look at the food that Soup already has. A little bit off on that economic management, but he's going to be able to hit the heroic age really, really quickly here and cause a lot of problems for Kvoth moving forward. We'll see what the unit composition of choice is, as we see Mermillo and Terma, a very, very standard opening here thus far for Kvoth. Going for those Terma, they are considerably more pricey here at 75 wood, 65 gold. They're very close to the cost of say like a chariot archer, if not even at the cost of a chariot archer. I'm not exactly sure. Probably close enough, as we do see the villagers starting to get harassed on this position as the citizen moving away. It does look like the citizen, they can very easily snipe down these animals if they so choose, but it looks like Kvoth is just waiting on a potential second Terma to Valor on this position. He could also Valor these units up here, which he does decide to do as the citizen pops through. Going to start getting some good damage. Now, got to be careful with that low HP citizen popping that one out. Manages to snipe the Wadget, pushing forward, and now Soup, he has to pull all the way back. He's in a bit of a worry here as his Pharaoh has not been empowering. He's going to be losing that priest, and Kvoth is going to be able to put his foot on the gas in this game, as now Soup is going to be getting a fairly respectable heroic age time, though. On Overhaul patch, if you're going for a one town center heroic, you can get incredibly fast heroic age times if you really, really want to. But whether or not that's a good thing or not, I'm not 100% sure. So we'll see what sort of a strategy Soup's going to be going for. He might go for some sort of fast mythic behind all of this, which wouldn't surprise me at all. He does have himself a walrus here. He could potentially eat if he so chose, but he is finishing up those gazelle on this position as well, as Yellow Snow Cone has indeed confirmed. And my math also confirms that they both do indeed cost 140 resources, which is perfect because they both cost 3 population and they are both very, very useful units, only that the Terma is unlocked in the classical age, so you get that one a little bit earlier, and it's only really good against counter archers. You can actually take this one down fairly. It's not easy, but you can take this one down with like cavalry nicely, because it's a 3 population unit. A little bit easier to take that one down after all is said and done, as Kvoth now trying to get himself a second town center there. We do see a Migdol stronghold coming up in the main base as Kvoth pokes his head in. Shifting Sands being utilized onto this position, does manage to pick off a lot of units here as the wall is going to be getting targeted down. Can he get out of that position or not is the big question. I don't think he's going to be able to. He's going to lose a lot of population here. Trying to sneak through this position is not able to do so. Not able to get out of there. That's a lot of death there with that Shifting Sands. Hitting the double Terma as well is a big, big problem. As that Migdol stronghold just about to come up for Soup. He's still got those giraffe in his main base. You've got to be careful not to lose those. If the Terma somehow decide to move over here and start sniping those, could be a bit of a problem where that's concerned. As Soup now swinging in with his Larry as he comes through and he says, I want to fight you. As that Terma starting to throw some arrows in, going to get a little bit of damage done, but the tower still getting good damage done against the Terma, as we do see the Mermillo hero getting taken down. A 3rd town center coming up for Kvoth. He's going for a very, very big boom here, as Soup is literally built nothing at this point. He's got the Migdol up, but I don't see any sort of chariot archers or anything. Just a marker coming up in the back. It looks to me like Soup is going for a fast mythic here off of one town center. He's starting to build some chariot archers after all is said and done. But the 3 town centers is going to be up for Kvoth. And look at this in his main base. He's got a handful of villagers on this gold mine. He's got a villager over here. He's over here on this position, so he's going to be able to start grabbing this gold mine. Obviously, the tornado is going to be coming through, as we do see the Scorpion Man starting to get targeted down here. Those Terma heroes will be able to deal with that one very, very easily there, as the crocodiles are set coming through now for Soup, pushing the army away, and we'll see how things are going to go. as the Terma swing in. And look at that micro there from Kvoth, dodging the arrows. We see one Chariot Archer going down. Great micro thus far from Kvoth, as those Chariot Archers are incredibly weak against the Terma. You kind of need to make some cavalry, or you kind of need to make some spearmen. The counter triangle is definitely in effect with those Terma heroes. You don't really want to make pure Chariot Archers against Terma. Even on voobly balance patch 5.0, you don't really want to. Obviously, you do because you kind of have to, but you don't want to. But even more so on this overhaul patch, you really don't want to, as we see more counter barracks coming up, more Terma coming out, as Kvoth is realizing that maybe he needs a few more to deal with the cavalry there, as Soup now starting to build some of his own, the Chariot Archers, as Soup now starting to build some cavalry here as some sort of a defense against those Terma. If you can get the cavalry onto the Terma, it's really, really good. But look at that snipe there, a little bit of an overkill from Soup. And this is something that you will see as a bit of a weakness to these Terma, is that they do a ton of damage, but they will overkill those Chariot Archers significantly. So you're going to lose a lot of DPS if you're going to over micro them or under micro them in some shape or form. You kind of want to split them into a handful of different groups and manage them where that's concerned. As the cavalry now swinging up onto this position, looking for that tornado to come in. Kvoth is in a really, really good position, though. He's got 34 citizen. That's equal to 68 villagers. As we do see an Ancestors getting dropped onto this position. Kvoth reacts immediately. Needs to ensure that he keeps the majority of his citizens alive. Against that one is the cavalry now hitting the main base. Tornado going to be coming down onto this position straight away, as the citizen are going to start getting sucked up. One almost goes down, two go down here on this position as the citizen reacts, retreating away from the town center there, as the army still pushing forward over here, as we're starting to see the hippos of Set coming through for Soup. Soup's Mythic Age has hit. Kvoth is still significantly in the lead in terms of economy, but he's going to be having himself a very, very difficult army to deal with, as the army starting to push forward. He's got to somehow deal with that Avenger here as well. As that comes forward, going to start getting a good amount of damage here, as we do see the hero Terma coming in yet again. Going to be able to snipe down that Avenger. Great shockwave there to ensure he gets that kill before deciding to retreat back. Those hippos very, very strong at 136 HP there, as well as the rhinos 189 HP, as Soup pushing out. Soup now needs to think about how he can secure either a position on the map or how he's going to find a victory here, as the Set Pharaoh gets sniped. Soup's at 64 favor at the moment. That's supposed to all be going into Animals of Set here. But Soup, he doesn't have a Pharaoh for another nearly 2 minutes after you snipe. I think it's 90 seconds it takes to get rebuilt. That's going to really put a big, big dent in any ability Soup has to make an attack work here. As Kvoth, he's already at 125 of 110 population. He is missing a house somewhere, as he has dropped that one down. An armory getting dropped down as well. Obviously, Kvoth wants to be heading to the heroic age as soon as he possibly can. But he does need to ensure he gets all of his military buildings out, because once he starts fighting, this is where things get a little bit dicey for him. Good micro here from Kvoth, trying to snipe down these Animals of Set. The citizen are very, very good at taking out Animals of Set. You can see them going at it very nicely. The fact that they haven't actually had a change to their damage against animals, so they've still got that 3 population damage against animals, even though they're only 2 population. That might be a little bit too strong, but it's it definitely is going to be helping him in this game. Let me know what you think in the chat there, as the Terma pushing out, seeing if he can find something to do with them, but the cavalry chasing them down. Kvoth needs to pull back here. One of the big, I don't know if I already talked about it, but the Terma, the change that happened to them is that they cost 3 population now, which effectively means they've got the same population as a cavalry. So instead of you being able to mass up a bunch of them and get value, you kind of just have to get value out of the fact that they take out enemy archers really effectively. And your opponent is going to be able to get value taking out your Terma with cavalry and things like that. So the siege towers pushing forward here, trying to break through here. Soup, he has gotten himself a second town center. He's starting to push out onto the map in that regard, as we do see the Avenger coming through. Kvoth, he's clicked up to the heroic age, not through this town center, but over on this one, it seems, as the home town center is back up for Kvoth as well. Kvoth is at 37 citizen here, not quite at that 40 that you can go up to, but he is in a bit of a pain here with those siege towers pushing through. Kvoth might be losing this town center moving forward, as he just cannot get up to population here. He needs to get those military barracks down. He needs to be popping them up all over the place. Thank you for the gifted sub, Bad Streaming. Appreciate you, my friend, as Soup continues to push forward. We do see the Stymphalian Bird coming through. That's going to be a big help to deal with that Avenger and possibly deal with other animals of set and the like there, as Kvoth pulling back into his main base here. He's gotten some Murmillo out. It's not a bad idea to make Catapulties here either. Very, very useful against the cavalry if you're in that sort of a problem. As more Arcus coming out, we are now starting to see some Contarius coming through here, but Kvoth has been hit with this timing, and he is struggling to maintain population, though he does have himself a ton of Stymphalian birds, as the Pharaoh Larry II coming through, but has been targeted down immediately. Great micro from Kvoth as he pulls back those Stymphalian birds. This Stymphalian bird over here taking a little bit more damage, but does get kept alive, as the hero citizen pushing forward. That is one speedy ass hero citizen. Look at him go, 4.74 speed with Boots of Kick Everything and the hero speed buff that you get from heroizing. That citizen is booking it. My God, look at her go. I'm not sure if that might just be a mistake, in all honesty. I could be wrong. I might not have fixed that, but no, I mean, at the very worst, that would be non-patch hero citizen. They are speedy. My God, they're going hard. Soup now, he's pushed off. He's gotten the value. The economic difference is starting to look relatively similar here, though. Kvoth still slightly in front. We see the town center coming up over here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Soup grabbing the town center over here. The game is far from done at this point. Soup has just basically equalized, so to speak, as Kvoth not quite able to push in just yet. He is at full population. He's trying to get this town center up. He's got this one going up with 6 citizen. This is equal to 12 citizen up at this point, as the priest getting some good damage done from afar. The Stymphalian birds getting taken out. We do see Kvoth sending more and more units in. He doesn't quite have the upgrades in just yet. He's got a lot of wood in the bank ready to drop farms down if he doesn't. He's already got the farms down, so he's just kind of banking that wood for the time being, as one of the most difficult things for Atlantean, as always, is how do you deal with the siege towers? They are really, really difficult to deal with as Atlantean. You can build yourself some fire siphons and try and deal with that. Fire siphons are unlocked in the heroic age, though they are very, very different. They can be used to take out siege towers and the like, as the Kvoth Terma need to be microed onto those chariot archers. They will be able to take them down very, very fast, as that's exactly what Kvoth is trying to do here, as Soup not microing those really all too well just yet, as the Dryads tanking the arrow fire coming through. More shots coming through here for the Terma of Kvoth, as Soup needs to pull back. Soup sitting at 118 of 130 pop. Kvoth's at 130 of 160 pop. Still very, very close in this game. Kvoth trying to secure this forward town center. He's got the hero citizen here, the actual hero citizen. Such a bonkers speedy unit with that relic there. That relic is just a vanilla relic. I didn't change anything. I didn't change anything there. As the medium Contarius coming in here. Citizen Heroes 2 or 3 pop. The Citizen Heroes are indeed 3 pop, I believe. Yes, they are 3 pop. So they do still have that expensive part there as well, as we do see the shockwave coming in. Will it be enough? It is enough as Kvoth gets the town center up. Funeral rites coming through for Soup to try and deal with those Stymphalian birds here as the siege tower is still tanking in the front. We see some military buildings coming down here for Kvoth to boot here to try and keep himself going here on that forward location. 140 of 180 population. Got to remember that Soup is in the Mythic Age. He does have a villager advantage at the moment, and his villagers do gather fast. They're not like the old villagers. They gather faster. He's got more economy. You can see that Soup's score here is competing. A lot of that is in the favor that he's gotten, the myth units he's spawned, and the advantageous trades he's been having in this game. As the hero citizens popping back out and going to be able to shank down those siege towers. How much does he cost? He's cost a decent amount of resources. 150 food, 30 wood. So it's not like it's a cheap citizen when you compare how much it costs to make the entire hero citizen from base cost. As more chariot archers popping out here, and Kvoth needs to kind of settle the economy to some degree. How is his economic upgrades going? He's missing quite a bit here, in all honesty, as we're now starting to see the shaft mine coming through. Kvoth is realizing he needs more economy here. Great raid coming in. Raiding is a really, really big part of this game. You can really injure your opponent's ability to compete if you just hit their economy and slow down those resources. But look at what Soup's got in the bank here, ladies and gentlemen, as the villagers push forward, start shanking down Kvoth's fortified town center here, and we see some more units pushing forward onto this position as more medium Contaris are out. They're going to be able to take down the chariot archers there, but Soup, he is going to be getting himself the town center up. He's going to be claiming some sort of equality in this game, but the question is equality going to be enough to find a victory, as Kvoth is continuing to rally units in here, as his units will be getting picked off. But now Soup, 160 population available. He's got himself fortified town centers. More Contaris sacrificing themselves as they do move forward. Soup now searching around for something else to find here as the chariot archer gets taken down on this position. Contaris are going to be roaming around looking for something to take out. We do have some chariot archers have found some citizen on this point. Kvoth is actually down citizens by a significant margin here. He's missing 8, which is the equivalent of being behind like 16 villages or so, as the chariot archers, they do get spotted by these Contaris. The Contaris do not have any upgrades apart from that Tusk of the Iron Boar, which is a big, big help after all is said and done to the Atlantean army here. As Kvoth hits yet another raid onto this position, Soup is down to near 0 gold at this moment, so he is in a little bit of pain as the Contaris moving back onto this position. As maybe Soup needs to start thinking about moving in to Spearmen or into Cavalry or something that's going to be a little bit better to deal with those Contaris, as the the Arcus pop out yet again. Soup's now dropped down to 150 population as the trades looking like they're going somewhat in Kvoth's favor. Kvoth doesn't have himself the Pierce upgrades just yet. He is getting himself Copper Shield, so he's made that decision nicely, whereas Soup, he's gotten just the Copper Weapons upgrade thus far, as the raid's still coming through onto this position. The chariot archers coming in. Kvoth's still trying to battle his way into an equal or winning position here. He does have the population advantage, but he does need to find more and more villager kills, more and more upgrades. He does have a Mythic Age sort of power spike remaining here with his god powers, whereas Soup does not, as we do see the Poseidon's secret upgrade is coming through. That's going to push these Contarius into overdrive, but Kvoth taking the fight just that little bit early on this one. He might be wishing he'd waited ever so slightly, but heavy cavalry is going to be coming through. Soup is running out of gold here. He's got 3,000 gold left in that gold mine. There's the heavy cavalry coming in as the villagers coming up onto this gold mine here. Soup needs to put some Migdol strongholds down or something here to hold on. as he is run down to only 100 population after all is said and done. He is running out of steam in this game. He's got very little resources left in the tank. Villagers getting sniped down. More army swinging in here as Kvoth has found himself an advantage in this game considerably. I wouldn't mind seeing Kvoth now sending villagers forward and trying to put up a palace or something on the gold mine where that's concerned, but he's deciding against it for the time being here. As Suppe retreats back, he's in a very difficult position. He still has got a little bit of gold left in this gold mine, so it's not completely lost, but now dropping down to 52 villagers after that brutal raid from Kvoth. Suppe is in a very difficult position as Kvoth is now starting to pick up on that food income. He's getting himself quarry, which is going to boost that gold income significantly here. Speaking of Suppe's economic upgrades, he does have bowsaw, shaft mine. He's missing the irrigation though, as this Migdol stronghold is attempting to get put up another Migdol stronghold over on this position as well. There's more chariots coming in, but the Migdol gets denied. The gold mine is denied. Suppe is 74 population remaining as Kvoth is motoring ahead in this game with reckless abandon, ladies and gentlemen. He does not care about the position that Suppe was in 10 minutes ago. He says, this is the position you're in now, and Kvoth is starting to get good trades. Suppe is running out of economy here, and even now he's got this 2 Migdols up. He's not able to afford the production of those chariot archers with the trades he's taking at this moment. Kvoth now getting himself heavy archers as well, which is going to push those medium archers up to 18 range, which is a big, big help to them. And Suppe pulls back, but this will give Kvoth some... Not Kvoth. This will give Suppe a little bit of advantage on this gold mine. Thank you for the gifted sub again, Bad Streaming. Appreciate you, my friend, as the Arcus pulling in here, taking the laborers down and everything else where that's concerned, as the Arcus getting a little bit of damage done over here. Trying to find as much value as they can. As these villagers just continue to fall here as Kvoth returns back in onto this position, and Suppe, he seems like he's running out of steam. There's no gold at the top of the map. Suppe's at 32 gold. He's found himself 100 population. He is managing to get some picks over here as Kvoth not paying attention all too well as the Contaris. Look at those Contaris, 6.90 speed. These are vanilla Contaris. They haven't been touched. This is literally just focusing on getting the relics and getting some really, really good relics in this game for Kvoth to help him out. And also the this Poseidon's secret plus Oranos speed boost. Absolutely insane as those Contarius are just smothering the chariot archers in this game. You do see an Avenger coming out. That's going to be a big help here for Suppe, but I imagine Suppe is going to be able to take that one down fairly easily. Kvoth is going to take that down very, very easily, even without heroizing his units there. Meanwhile, the Ark is coming over onto this position and push Suppe off of gold yet again. Ladies, what a game here. After all is said and done, look at the unit killed loss as Suppe. He was so in front on that unit kill loss there, but the resource advantage that Kvoth had managed to get from simply just getting 3 town centers and just playing into the correct army composition here, making sure he takes advantage of those Contaris, making sure he was taking advantage of those Terma when he had them, and he was able to just trade well enough, even though he was falling behind because he had so much more economy. He was able to survive here, and I do think that a lot of this comes down to just Kvoth just continuously hitting villages. Look over here. You can see in this position, you see the villagers getting down and down and down, and Suppe just could not rebuild them after all was said and done. And Kvoth gets the win in game number 1. It is a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed that one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.